So not too long ago, the official trailer dropped for the new Resident Evil movie that's coming out in September, which looks to be completely resetting and starting a new slate from Paul W.S. Anderson's series of fucking honestly shitty movies, which is a good start. But the things the director has said in his interviews with different news outlets and media seems to be taking things in a different direction that may not be what a lot of Resident Evil fans want, which I can understand to a certain point. Before we get right into the meat and potatoes of the whole Resident Evil story and shit, are my first impressions of the teaser, which, to be honest, didn't really give me Resident Evil vibes at all. It gave me an interesting horror indie vibe with maybe a new kind of eldritch horror monster kind of thing, right? Like with Smile. But if Resident Evil wasn't slapped on at the end of the trailer, I would have never guessed that this was a new Resident Evil movie coming out. Like, what the fuck is Baron Harkin doing here? Like, go back to your own fucking universe, you big fuck. But whatever this cool lip monster is, it looks interesting. But again, I'm not getting RE vibes from this teaser trailer at all. I would say the new trailer that came out not too long ago, a few days ago, as of me recording this video, it looks a little more in line with Resident Evil, but I wouldn't say it fully captures it. I do like the cool shot of the main character being in this lab with what looks like to be a bunch of zombies behind a closed door. It does look more in line with what Resident Evil is, you know, with the whole Umbrella Corporation and everything and the outbreak. And the shots in the city do look very interesting. I think he captures the eerie feeling pretty decently well with the trailer, you know, but I'm still on the fence with this whole new Resident Evil because of the things the director has been saying, which he has stated he took liberties to tell the story he wants to tell and to make it look the way he wants it to, right? Which in and of itself isn't a bad thing. I think it's fine for a director to do that, right? But my gripe here with this specific story is this is already attached to an established IP, which is Resident Evil. And fans are going to be expecting Resident Evil when you slap that bitch onto a movie title, right? So if the director changed the name to maybe like Resident Evil Ground Zero or Resident Evil the first few hours or first hours or some shit, right? Like that, I think he should be given more leeway because he's not telling a specific story in the entry of the series, right? He's just telling a story in the universe. Like with, say, Resident Evil Dead Aim, it takes place in the RE universe, but we're not following one of the main characters we are familiar with. It's not following, you know, Chris, Jill, or anyone like that. It's following a completely different character telling that story rather than one that we are familiar with. And I don't mind the RE story through a new character because we have the games for our named protagonists like Leon, Chris, Jill, you know, whatever, that can stay in the games. Like those kind of stories can stay in the game. So I'm cool with this new character and shit. Even though I don't know how he's gonna do survival horror since he says he wants to follow that kind of line with like the games and not the survival action part of it. I don't know how he's gonna do that in a movie. I understand how a game looks with survival horror, but I don't think I've ever seen a movie with survival horror. Maybe y'all know something about that, but I don't. That's why I don't mind, you know, if the director went this way with telling this RE story, but he's not. He's telling a story that's in the Resident Evil, I guess, like quote unquote canon-ish, but I don't know what he's thinking. Another thing he's going to change is the time period. In the games, at least in the first one or the first few Resident Evils, they take place in the early 90s. But for this film, it's going to take place in modern day 2026. So that's why there's iPhones and shit like that. Again, interesting for a side story, or maybe like in the universe of Resident Evil, right? He could have been like alternate timeline or some shit, so he could tell his story. Cool, fine, whatever. I don't mind that. Again, it's cool if bro wants to tell his story, but I think the director just needs to say that this is an alternate timeline instead of trying to incorporate it into the main canon in some way, because he said that this movie is in the RE world, which, okay, cool, like maybe he means like the universe or some shit, alternate timelines again, but then he turns around and says, oh no, the movie's actually going to be taking place as the Raccoon City incident is happening, like in the games. Like that's the canon part. But it's like, wait, you just said you're not gonna be, obviously you're not following like any of the main characters in the Raccoon City incident. Cool, but how is this movie taking place during the incident if we're in 2026? You're kind of contradicting yourself here, or you're not really following what you've already said in interviews. So if this is taking place during the Raccoon City incident, we should be in the 90s with no iPhones and any of that shit. Like, you can see the problem here, right? And he could have literally just completely solved the issue by saying, oh, this is a completely different timeline or a universe and shit, so I'm good at making this, you know, movie, doing things I want to do, which is cool. It's fine, whatever. You can tell whatever weird story you want if you're just in, you know, the RE universe. Like, it's not a specific timeline. And just change the title, like, again, I already said, like, Resident Evil, like, the first hours or some shit, right? And then boom, you're good. Anyways, going back to the Resident Evil trailer, I don't mind the snowy environment. Like, people are on Twitter are kind of like, well, why the fuck is it saying the snowy environment? This fucking, not Resident Evil. It's like, who cares? It's cool if he wants to do it. But then again, like I said, just all you have to do is make this like a different timeline, then you're good. You would have been fine. Like, why are you trying to fit it into the main canon games? You don't have to, just do your own thing. This is the same problem with Bethesda trying to shove in their Fallout TV show into the mainline games. Like, no, those are two completely different things. Like, we already know the games are different. Like, Todd Howard, fucking, are you a retard? No, ghouls don't have this magic serum that prevents them from being ghouls. We know that they all eventually will become feral at some point. We don't know a timeline, but it's a fucking fact. Why are you trying to change the whole lore? Like, you don't have to fucking do it. Just say timelines are different and you would have been fine. Fucking bullshit. Yeah, but I just I don't know how to fucking feel about this. And just a little tangent about the director. I think he's a bit fucking careless because doesn't have to do with any like movie plot details. This has to do with production. During a stunt performance for a scene, he almost got his fucking main actor killed. Like, this bro, he said it was fucking worth it to get that cool shot, which you can see in the final trailer with like the body falling and almost hitting the main actor. But bro, like, have you lost your fucking mind? It's not worth getting any of your fucking main cast killed just for a cool shot. Like, I agree with practical effects being way better than CGI, but when it comes to the life of your cast members, I don't think you should be fucking risking it, no matter how cool the shot looks, dog. Cause like, if he fucking died, then this whole fucking movie would have been filled with controversy of how fucking crazy the director is for, you know, getting his main lead actor killed. This would have been a whole like Twilight Zone movie incident all over again. But yeah, that's just a tangent over. We'll wait and see how this movie comes out. Hopefully it turns out being good. At least it could be better than the Anderson series for films for sure, which is just him glazing his wife throughout the whole story of that movie franchise. I just actually recently watched the first one and I would call it dumb but fun. Like, for real, like, why is she jumping off the wall to kick this dog? That's so goofy. Like, it is a fun experience. So that's the one thing I do like give the movie credit for. And one thing I actually really do like about like the first Resident Evil Anderson film is the theme for Umbrella. That shit's honestly a bop. That shit goes hard. Overall, my closing thoughts. Hopefully this movie ends up being good or decent, because what I've heard with the recent Welcome to Raccoon City movie, I heard that one fucking wasn't good at all. So hopefully things change with this new one, or maybe we'll just go down the same road as, you know, every other fucking person has attempted with Resident Evil as a movie, and it's just gonna be shit. Hopefully not, but tell me what you think. Tell me your thoughts about this whole Resident Evil, whatever, like this movie, the Anderson films, the Welcome to Raccoon City and movie. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section down below. That's all I gotta say. Bye.